Okay, in this video, we are going to find the differential of these two equations. And remember, differential is just simply you have the dy is equal to the derivative of the function that we're talking about, and then we multiply by dx. And of course, depending on which of the independent variable that we're using, here we're using x. So I put down f prime of x times dx. Well, here we're going to use t. So we will be doing f prime of t dt. All right, so just kind of be aware of the variables that we're using. Anyway, this is nothing but just the derivative equation again. Here, we get dy, and let's look at this as our function and differentiate this with respect to x. This is x times e to the negative 4x. So we have to use what? The product rule, right? So we will keep the first function, namely x, and then the derivative of the second, e to the negative 4x. This part repeats first. So we multiply by e to the negative 4x, but the chain rule says we have to multiply by the derivative of the inside. Derivative of negative 4x is just negative 4, so multiply by negative 4 here. This is the first part for the product rule, and then we add it with the second function. You just write it down, and then you multiply by the derivative of the first. Derivative of x is just simply 1, so this is what we have. And you see, usually we'll write down dy dx, but for differential purpose, we multiply the dx on both sides. And you just have to be aware that we put all this in a big parentheses and then have the dx right here. And this is pretty much your differential dy. In the end, we'll just write this down nicely. Dy is equal to, this is negative 4 times that, x e to the negative 4x, plus this is just e to the negative 4x dx. And of course, if you want to factor out the e to the negative 4x, that's fine too. So if you want to do that, you can also have the answer in the form of e to the negative 4x times negative 4x and then plus 1 and then dx. Perhaps I will box this for our final answer. Okay? So that's the differential for the first one. And you may look at this and just, yeah, that's just the derivative equation. Yes, but once you get to Cal 3, when you have a multivariable situation, there's something called the total differential. You have to be aware of the formula from there. But it's similar though. This is just a single variable. Anyway, let's look at the second one. Same thing, but just t. Anyway, so I will look at this dy dt, but I'll multiply dt on both sides. That's pretty much the idea, but it's pretty much that. The derivative of square root of something is first you get 1 over 2 square root of the inside. Goes here, 1 minus t to the 4th power. And then the chain rule says we have to multiply by the derivative of the inside. Derivative 1 is 0. Derivative of negative t to the 4th power is negative t to the negative 4 t to the 3rd power. 4 to the front, and then minus 1 for the exponent, so you get this. And this is the derivative. We multiply by the t here, so you can get the differential. And then we'll just clean things up. Dy is equal to, cancel this, right? So we have 1 times negative 2 t to the 3rd power, so I'll put down negative 2 t to the 3rd power over this only on the denominator. And then you have the dt right here. And with that, we are done.